good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Y'all already know it's your boy. Working on Carpool with Rick. Friday Junior. Thursday morning. Tomorrow is Friday. We're pretty much almost done with the week, people. It's been a pretty long week. Well, I don't want to say pretty long, but you know, I feel like every week we just trying to get to Friday. Friday's like the finish line. We just like, let's go. How's everybody feeling today? A little frigid this morning. It is 27 degrees. We had a little special guest overnight. La Mierda Blanca did a little pop-up and left some residue behind. I'm pretty sure that won't be the last of her. It's still early. It's not even like winter yet. We're still to be considered in fall. So she can make some more appearances at any point. Now, I hope she stays on that side. Like, don't come over here. I don't like you, Mierda Blanca. Like, we have beef from the past. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like dealing with her. But I hope everybody has a blessed and amazing day. I'm actually off of work today. You know, something transpired where, you know, I got to work on Saturday. So I had to take the day off, you know. So that's cool. You know, I get to run some errands, you know, handle some business. So that's okay. So we're going to be out and about, you know, doing what we got to do. But let's be thankful for another day. Let's thank the man above for allowing us to open our eyes. I pray that, you know, God gives peace to those that have burdens in their hearts, and, you know, though I feel that they are uneasy, you know. I know this time of the year can be very difficult. But that's okay. God is with you. Remember the other day I was talking about faith, size of a mustard seed. That's all you need, is that little bit of faith. And it's like when you plant something, you gotta water it, and it's gonna grow. So just don't lose that faith, and your faith will keep growing. And you know what? God's gonna be with you. Sometimes we go through things in life and, you know, we're just like, what am I still doing here? Like, you start questioning, like, yourself, and, you know, you kind of like, you feel like, what's going on? But sometimes that's just a test of faith. You gotta, like, keep that faith and just believe. Leave it in his hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's there with you. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever feel alone. You know, there's been times in my life where I felt like, what's going on? Like, what am I still doing here? But, you know, I never lost that faith, and those are the times that he was most with me. And he's always with me, but in those times, like, I'll tell you, I went through some dark times in my life. Like, you know, and those are some things that I've never really shared with anybody. Like, it's just something that I went through, you know, that was between me and God. Like, he knows what I went through, because, you know, he was there in those dark times to help me get through those situations. And, you know, that's all it is. You know, when my grandmother was still alive, like, that's all she would tell me. Nunca pierda tu fe y siempre órale a Dios. Like, I would always pray to God regardless of what season I was going through. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to do in these times. Like, you feeling down and out, just pray to God and have a conversation with God. Like, Lord, give me strength, give me guidance. Like, I give you my burdens, and just show me the way. Trust me, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So don't give up. Keep fighting. You know, things will work out. You know, we just have to have patience. As humans, you know, we get impatient. You know, we become uneasy. But that's just that battle within ourselves that we go through. But that's when we have to lean towards him the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even when we going through good, you know, when we in good times, we still have to give thanks, because the fact that we're here, that we're alive another day, like, that's a blessing. Okay, so we have a purpose, you know, and we may not know what that purpose is, but with time it will reveal itself, you know. I don't know what my purpose is, but I pray to God every day that, you know, that he continues to mold me and guide me, and, you know, to give me that strength that I need to get by, because I deal with my own, you know, personal battles. We all do. We all go through it. You know what I'm saying? And we just have to have faith. That's the key word, the underlying word here, faith. You know, and I know that he's always been there with me. Like, he done got me out of like some crazy situations. I'm not ready to talk about those right now, but I know with time I'll one day give my testimony, and, you know, that it's gonna be amazing, you know. But I'm still a work in progress, you know. I'm not perfect, you know. I don't claim to be perfect. To sit here and say that I'm perfect is me saying that I'm equivalent to God, and that's far from it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot, you know. And I sin every day. You know, we're all sinners, whether it's big or small. But, you know, it's like I said, I'm a work in progress, and I know with time, I will get there. And I just ask for the man above to continue to work with me. And, you know, that's all I can really do. You know, I try to, like, you know, be good, and, you know, I've come a long way, you know. You know, I became a father at a very young age. I wasn't ready for it, but, you know, I took the responsibility, you know, with what it came with, you know. I always said to myself the day that I became a father, like, that I would always be there, and that's what I've done, you know. Even after, you know, I separated with the kid's mother, you know, there was a lot of stuff that went on. You know, those were like the dark times that, you know, that throughout those years that I was going through stuff. But like I said, I'm here. And I have him to thank for that, because he got me through those dark times. So, you know, I guess the point I'm trying to get at is, you know, like, right now, if you are going through dark times and you feel that you're just kind of like at wit's end, and, you know, you feel like you're giving up, don't give up. Don't give up. You have a lot to live for, you know. God has his purpose with you, just like he has with all of us. You know, we just have to give our hearts to him, you know. And I know this can be a very touchy subject with certain people, but that's all right. I'm gonna speak what I gotta speak. You know, that's what's in my heart this morning, so that's what I'm gonna speak on. So, you don't like it, you can hit X and keep pushing. But, you know, if you listened up to this far, it's because I have your attention for a reason. Nothing is coincidence, you know. If you're listening to this message, it's probably because God is probably speaking to you through me. He's using me to talk to y'all, you know, and I receive it. You have to receive it, you know. It's kind of like giving advice. I can give you could be going through a situation and I can give you advice on that situation, but whether you take that advice or not, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? So if you not trying to receive that blessing, then that's between you and God. Like I can't do nothing about that. But all we can do is try to, you know, receive it, you know. So I want to share a quick story with y'all, because this is definitely one of those situations that God was truly there. So about a few years back, you know, my wife and I were driving, and we were out and we were going somewhere, and we got into a car accident. Now, thinking back and how everything played out, like it happened so fast, but God was truly there, because that accident was just super crazy. So my wife was driving, I was in the passenger side, and we were like at an intersection, and you know, pretty much we were making a left turn. So to make a long story short, the person that we had the accident with, you know, my wife, obviously she was yield. She was waiting for her right away to go. So this dude was like at a distance, like mind you, she had plenty of time to go, right? So as she's like slowly moving, like next thing we know, like we, you know, she started to take off to make the turn, and boom, like no lie, like it happened so fast, but the way I seen it, it was like slow motion. Like I literally, like the way the accident happened, because he hit the passenger fender, like the front end of the car, and rather than me go forward, like I went backwards, but slow motion. It felt like the Matrix. And if you watch Iron Man 3, there's a scene in the movie where like there's an explosion and you see them, they showed in slow motion where they're flying back, just like that. Now the crazy thing to this story is that her airbag deployed, right? Mine's didn't. So after everything happened, you know, like I checked on her, you know, I was fine. Like nothing happened, not a scratch, nothing. And the windshield on my side was cracked. The airbag didn't deploy. So like I know for a fact that was God. God was there at that moment, like, because as she would have drove a little bit further, it would have been T-bone. We would have gotten T-bone, and that would have been a wrap, because I was on the passenger side. So that itself was super crazy. And you know, I just know for a fact that he was there. Now mind you, to add on to that, the car was a total loss. So obviously, you know, we were still paying off the car. The insurance, you know, they titled it a total loss, whatever, you know. They paid off the rest of the car, and then the little bit of money that was left over, like, it wasn't enough for me to like say, yo, I'm gonna go buy a car tomorrow. So like we had a rental from the insurance company, stressing out, like, yo, like we don't got a car, like what are we gonna do, blah blah blah, like trying to like weigh our options and see like what's going on. So my wife tells me, you know, why don't you try to get a loan from the bank to see if, you know, they give you a loan and we can try to get a car. That was really what it came down to, you know, like that was like the last resort, you know, me going to the bank. And my reservations was like, yo, at that time my credit wasn't the best, you know what I'm saying? I'm like rebuilding my credit and whatnot. So I took a shot. You know what I'm saying? We prayed on it and said, God, if we're meant to get this loan, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna make it happen. So, long story short, they approved me the loan. The car that I'm driving right now is the car that we got. You know what I'm saying? That he was able to provide for us. You know what I'm saying? And it was a better car than what we had. You know, not saying that the old car that we crashed, was not a good car, but it was more brand new. You know what I'm saying? It was a better condition, whatever. So that was a blessing. Despite that, I was stressing out and, not believing that I would get a loan to get a car, like the distractions, those negative thoughts. And that was the enemy trying to feed that in my mind. Like, that we were going to be struggling, not being able to get a car, you know what I'm saying? Not allowing me to see the bigger picture. You understand what I'm saying? So, God is real. He's there. He's there for us. We just have to look for him. And God is a gentleman, you know what I'm saying? He's not gonna, you know what I'm saying, like he'll wait for you to come to him, but we have to look for him. So I know that I've been kind of like, talking a lot. I just had a lot to say this morning, more than usual. It's something that I felt that I had to share. I just hope that whoever's watching this or watches this, that if the message is for you, that you embrace it, and maybe that is my purpose. I like to help people and kind of like talk to people and share my experiences, because it's like I was talking to my daughter this morning, and I was pretty much telling her, like, she was telling me that her and my son, they don't like to come to me and talk to me about certain things because the way that I react. But that's just the fatherly instinct in me. Like, I tell my kids all the time, like, I'm your father first before I'm your friend. So if I have to tell you things a certain way, that's just my fatherly instincts trying to guide y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because I've gone through certain things in life. So if my experiences can help prevent you from making those mistakes, then I'm gonna tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you go and make those decisions on your own, then that's your journey, right? Your experiences. That's how we learn in life, right? We go through our own experiences and our own journeys. But as a father, I feel like any father wouldn't want their kids to go through certain things. So we try to do the best that we can to avoid them going through those situations. And that's how I explained it to her. I was like, it's not that, I don't want you guys to do certain things, but if I've gone through something and I know that it's something that I can avoid for you, then I'm gonna tell you that. Like, I'm gonna share that with you so that you don't have to make those same mistakes, And I think that's just with any parent, we don't want our kids to go through the same mistakes that we went through, the same experiences. So it's just that instinct, that paternal instinct, that it is our job to protect our kids. And I know that my kids are gonna go through their own stuff, they're gonna experience life the way they want and go through their own journeys, but I'm gonna still continue being a father, no matter how old my kids are. My son's gonna be 21. My daughter will be 20 in the summer. So they're adults, but I'm always gonna give them the best advice that I can. My job as a father will never stop. I'm always gonna be a father 24/7, around the clock. Not having my father there, like, it made me be a better person, and as far as like being a parent. You know, I don't hold my father fully responsible because I know that my father didn't have his father. You know, my grandfather passed away when my dad was 3 years old. Um, my father went through his own traumatic experiences growing up. But, you know, it's all about perception, you know, and how we perceive things in life, and, you know, how we try to move forward from those experiences. Um, you know, it's something like, you know, the traumas that we go through when we're young is not our fault, right? It happens, but it is our responsibility that we learn to move forward from those experiences. Because if you continue on in life with that chip on your shoulder, like, nah, like, the way that I am is because, you know, I went through this and that and yada yada yada, and you kind of like use that as an excuse. Um, you don't. That's not moving forward. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm referring to when it comes to perception. You know, we all have different perspectives on certain aspects in life, especially when it comes to experiences and traumas and all that. That's something that I've been learning. You know, I've been going to therapy, you know, ever since my mother passed away. Um, there were a lot of stuff that I was dealing with internally, that I had compacted inside, you know, and all that was just like toxicity. You know, I had to like figure a way to get all that stuff out and be able to talk to somebody, you know, that doesn't know me from a hole in the wall, unbiased, you know, to help me get through those, you know, situations that I have been dealing with all these years, you know. Um, I will say that it did take a long time for me to actually go and talk to somebody. And, you know, I know that in the past I have talked about mental health and, you know, men's mental health, especially because there's such a huge stigma in the world, you know, where um, men that need therapy or whatever, like, it's kind of like not shunned upon, but, you know, it's too much ego, too much pride, too much machismo. Like, nah, I don't need to talk to somebody. Like, I'll deal with it. And that was me. You know what I'm saying? I was that dude. Like, I don't need to go to talk. I don't need to talk to nobody. Like, I'm good. Like, I'll deal with it. And that's the way that I have been carrying myself for many, many years. And, you know, deep down, I was just bitter, angry, like, you know, just feeling all types of emotions that, you know what I'm saying, was holding me back from being the person that I really needed to be. So if you feel that you're a man and you've gone through stuff and you feel like you need to talk to somebody, get professional help. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? You're holding yourself accountable, you know what I'm saying, for the stuff that you're feeling internally, and you taking that step to grow as a person, to try to move forward from everything. And that's all we can do in this life, is try to be better versions of ourselves. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need for carrying all this weight from the past. The past is the past. Like, there's no point in me looking in the rear view, you know what I'm saying, for stuff that I went through back then, because there's nothing that I can change. Like, it already happened. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is try to learn from whatever happened in the past, you know? So don't feel embarrassed or, you know, feel no type of way if you have to try to seek professional help. Like, it's all about mental health, and the times that we're living in, mental health is very important. And I can't stress that enough because I know, because I deal with it. So I know how that feels. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's hard to be able to be vulnerable and open up to somebody and talk about how you feeling. Because we don't want to seem weak or show vulnerability. But that's all right. We're human. Like, we have emotions just like everybody else does. So don't be ashamed, like, do that for you. You're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for nobody else, So if that's something that you feel that you need to do, then go ahead and do it. I recommend it, and I applaud it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna go get help for yourself. I'm clapping for you. I'm rooting for everybody to win. We all in this together. One world. But I'm gonna conclude this video because I've been talking for a lot today. I've had a lot to say. And I just want to wish everybody peace and harmony and nothing but love and, just great things, And the world that we live in is super crazy, and I feel like we need positivity and love and just all those great things, So don't lose faith, just pray. If you're feeling down and out, just take a moment and just pray and tell God, like, I leave it in your hands, Lord. Like, I know you got me. So you're not alone. So don't feel 1 second that you are alone in this world, because you're not. You know what I'm saying? So I hope everybody has a blessed and amazing day. Stay positive, stay productive. Let's keep pushing, people. We got this. You got this. I know you got it. So I will talk to y'all. You already know. It's your boy.